So even though it certainly feels like this vlog is slowly deflating into nothingness, I did record something yesterday. I decided not to upload it because I was in a headspace that wasn't necessary, I guess the best word. I was just feeling a little down because I had just learned some news that the film that I had worked so hard on had an incredible team who worked even harder than I ever could. We had learned that the film wasn't going to get into Sundance, which was tough. But within 24 hours, as a Taoist, I accepted that and said, look, I can't change it. And what I recognized was that the entire philosophy of getting into Sundance was backwards. You see, the reason I wanted to make the film, the reason I started a production company, was because no one would take my stuff. No one wanted to read my scripts, no one wanted to buy my scripts, no one wanted to make my scripts into movies. And I was tired of waiting. I was tired of waiting for someone else to say that you're good enough. And so I gathered a team of incredible people and we made a movie. It didn't matter what anyone said. It didn't matter if we knew all the techniques or skills. We wanted to make a movie, so we made a movie. But then when it comes to actually selling the film, I leaned again on depending on other people, waiting for other people's approval. But the whole point of making the film was to escape that, to no longer be dependent on others, to no longer say, oh, please, will you tell me that I am good enough, that I'm gracious enough, that I could just be something. And even though we'd put our own money into this film, we'd put a lot of sweat and blood and tears into this film, we were still waiting on someone else to say that you're good enough. That's an entirely inverse of what we were trying to do. So even though I'm disappointed, of course, that we didn't get into Sundance, I think it's a good thing. I do think everything happens for a reason, as silly and arbitrary and perhaps privileged as that may sound. I don't know what the next year holds for us. I don't know how our company is going to stay afloat. I mean, we're good now, but we need more money. But look, I can't change the past. I can't change the fact that they said no. We just need to move forward. Now, what I'm not going to do is bury this film away and just never think about it again. That's not fair to all the people involved. We are going to get this film shown. If it's ever shown in a theater, maybe not. But we're going to do everything in our power to get this on Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. You name it, and we're going to try. It doesn't say we're actually going to get it anywhere, but you're going to be able to see the film. And maybe only 100 people ever see this film. Maybe that's the case. But there's no point trying to change the past, because you can't. It's dead. It's gone. I was watching parts of the film the other day, and there were these little things that I wanted to change, and I got in there and I started changing things, and I stopped myself after I changed these little mistakes that just needed to be fixed, because there's something I like to call the George Lucas effect, which famously when George Lucas made the original Star Wars Episode 5, everyone loved it. They're like, oh my gosh, greatest thing on earth. But George Lucas, he couldn't stop fiddling with it. He just kept going back and back and back and back. And now if you watch, perhaps not the most recent version since Disney bought it, but up until Disney bought Star Wars, you actually couldn't find the original Star Wars Episode 5. It's been ruined, destroyed by George Lucas just constantly just finicking with it. And there's this urge to want to do that, and just go back and fix and fix and fix. But art isn't meant to be perfect. It's not. There's no such thing as perfect art. The perfection of art is in its imperfection. It's in its failures. And if I go back and try to tinker with it, I think the film will no longer be true to itself. Because art is a reflection of the artists as they were at that moment in time. As the actors, the editors, the producers, the DPs, everyone involved. That's a reflection of who we were. It's not necessarily a reflection of who we are or who we will be. It's a reflection of who we were, and to change that feels disingenuous. So I stopped. Now I'm going to work with my team to figure out what the hell we do with this film, how we get it onto these platforms. I have a couple ideas, and I'm sure they have plenty more. But more than anything else, I think it's important to just be okay. Yes, I put a lot of eggs into this basket, probably more than I should have. And the fact that the basket bottom fell through, that all the eggs were cracked, that's how it goes. I can't sit here and dwell on it. It's not going to do anybody any good. So we try to sell this film. We start working on the next project, which I've been actually working on a script since the day I finished the last film. Now the problem was we were going to fund the script of this new film with the proceeds from the last film, but even if we do find a way to sell this film, to monetize this film, we may not see profits for 6 months at least. So if I didn't know what this last year looked like, what this next year looks like, I don't know. I mean, we need to find a way to make more money because we don't have many clients now. And they're great clients, we love them, and they pay us well, but we need more. And how we go about that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I do. I don't know why I make this. I genuinely thought about not making it, just stopping. I mean, no one watches it, so, who would really care? My mom? That's okay. I still talk to her every day. It's not like she needs this. But, of course, I convinced myself that I'm not making this for my mom, as much as I love you, or anyone else. I just make this for me. And even if I never upload any of these exist. And just being able to talk to someone about these things, it helps. Because as much as I love my friends and my family, I'm not very good at expressing myself. And for some reason, when I'm in front of a camera, I can. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I feel so comfortable talking to a camera that I know will most likely go out to the whole world. Maybe it's because I can edit it. Maybe it's because I can fix it. Maybe because I can hide things. Maybe it's because there's this certain anonymity that comes with this. But I can feel as if I can be myself in front of the camera that I can't when I'm not. As weird as that sounds. So I'm going to keep doing this. Not for anyone, because no one's going to watch this. But for me, and it'll make me feel better, so. Until tomorrow.